Hello YouTube community. Today we'll talk about computer software and especially databases. The standard LAMP stack, which is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Just a brief definition of things. For those who don't know, the first letter L, Linux. Well, 99.9% of all the computers, especially personal desktop computers, have one of three operating systems, either Microsoft Windows, the Mac OS, or Linux, the free and open source operating system. The A for Apache. Apache is the server that serves HTML pages. M is the MySQL, the database server, and PHP is the language that can link to the database and then generate HTML code that you can then view the data. I will recommend using an easy-to-use, free and open source GUI program called phpMyAdmin. Before you can work with phpMyAdmin, you have to verify that the LAMP stack is already installed and working properly. And part of the motivation for this video is that I had some problems getting phpMyAdmin to work, so I will walk you through the steps. I'm assuming if you already have a desktop computer that it's already working with Linux. As of this recording, I'm using Linux Mint version 21.1 with the Cinnamon desktop, but any modern flavor of Linux should work fine. To test if Apache is working, open a browser and type this in the address http://localhost. Also in the terminal, type this to see its status, service Apache 2 status. You should see active and running. If not, start it like this, sudo service Apache 2 start. And if nothing works, it means that Apache is not installed, so you will have to install it. You can use the software manager to install Apache, or this command will download and install the Apache server, sudo apt get install apache 2. Do not go to the next step until you get to see the Apache page. 3. MySQL. With some distributions of Linux, MySQL comes pre-installed, and to test to see if it is pre-installed, you can do the following. MySQL-V will tell you the version. To test it, type this in the terminal, service MySQL status. You should see active and running. If not, start it like this, sudo systemctl start MySQL. So if none of that worked, it means you don't have MySQL installed, so you have to install it. Get it from the software manager or type this in the terminal, sudo apt install MySQL server. Once it is running, run a few test commands like this. Sudo MySQL to log in. At first you will be able to log in without a password. Afterwards you can secure it by running a script called MySQL_secure_ installation, where you can enter a username and password. And then to restart it, it's sudo systemctl start MySQL. 4. PHP. So you can test if PHP is already installed by typing php -v for version. And if you get a response telling you the version, then it means it's already installed. Otherwise, you'll have to install it. You can get PHP from the software manager. Whatever you use, make sure that both versions are the same for the libapache and for PHP. I believe this is where I had my problem when I was installing it. I had one version of PHP and another version of libapache, and things were just not working properly. So once you have PHP installed, create a file on your local hard drive /var/www/html/test.php and paste this code. $PHP space PHP info open bracket close bracket semicolon space question mark greater than. This is just a simple PHP script which will, when run, it will display all the information about your PHP. So open your browser and type this in the address, http://localhost test.php.php. You should see a long list of information about your PHP installation. If not, there's something wrong. Trace your steps over again and make sure each step works before proceeding. So once you have everything installed, so you can work with the text mode of MySQL if you want, but if you want the GUI, you have to install phpMyAdmin. You can again get it from the software manager or type this in the terminal: sudo apt-get install -y phpMyAdmin space php-mb string space php-get text. After it's installed, you can restart Apache with sudo systemctl restart Apache 2. Open the browser and type this: http://localhost phpMyAdmin, and you should see the phpMyAdmin login page. If not, you might have to do some manual configuring. Log into the MySQL server and type these commands: grant all privileges on *** to phpMyAdmin at localhost, flush privileges exit, and then refresh the phpMyAdmin page. You should be able to log in as root with no password, or if you've added a password, then use the username and password that you set it. So this will get you to using MySQL on your personal desktop computer with Linux and phpMyAdmin. So enjoy. There's lots of videos on YouTube about using SQL commands and how to use phpMyAdmin. It's pretty straightforward. So enjoy and see you in the next video. Over and out.